Okay, there we go. Hopefully everybody's good to go this morning. If somebody can get in the chat box and just let me know you can hear me just fine, that would be terrific. Right. Let's see who's here. Good morning. Lots of new names. Good morning, everyone. Good to see everybody. Hey, so we're going to need your number 3 dumbbell. If you feel like going a little bit heavier, we're going to work on squatting patterns today. So we'll be doing some squats. If somebody can just get in the chat box right quick and just let me know, thumbs up, that you can hear me, that would be just helpful. And I probably have some setting that's wrong on the chatting. Go. All right, I'm getting my foam roller. We're here at the gym today. Okay, everybody's good to go. Let's double check. If the chat box isn't working, somebody shoot me a text. Some of you guys have my cell phone number and you can kind of let me know. So everything's going pretty well. We've got early season, off season. So we're still working on technique. We're still working on just making sure that the body has healed from a super active summer. And then we're going to be working into becoming a better and stronger athlete. So I've got my shoes on today because I'm still recovering a little bit from a half marathon this weekend, which I did definitely do to complete, not compete. Okay, good. You can hear me. Thank you so much. All right. And so I've just chosen to wear shoes today. So that's a big question that comes up a lot in ECFIT. When do I wear shoes? When do I not wear shoes? If you feel healthy and you feel recovered and you do not have any pain, then you should be barefoot. And I want you to be barefoot, not with socks on. The difference is proprioception for the toes is an important part of this equation. So you're either in shoes or you're barefoot. Try to stay away from socks, okay? Because socks crush your hands or your toes together and they start acting like one big toe. So the first thing we're going to do is just start with some mobility. We're just going to rock through the thoracic spine. So remember that the thoracic spine is everything that's attached to the ribs, okay? Or that the ribs attach to. So let's just push the hips back a little bit, hips behind the heels. That's going to make your chest drop a little bit. And we're just going to rotate. Legs are staying pretty still. We're not weight shifting side to side. So just move nice and easy through your thoracic spine. Try to keep your eyes straight down to the ground. Big part of squatting patterns and squatting is being able to have a healthy low back in that process. So we need to move the T-spine and we need to move the hips. Okay, so first thing we're starting with just some gentle warm-ups here through the thoracic spine. Good. Okay, take that. We're just going to go glide right, back to the middle, glide left, back to the middle. 2 and back, 3 and back, 4. Always pushing the hips back. 5, load up the left side and back, load up the right side and back. You never want to just come into the gym and start adding a bunch of load to the body without the body moving well first. Is probably my biggest differentiator as a strength coach, is just how I prepare the body to move. Okay, good. We're gonna go right into a split stance. We're floating the back heel. Everybody get that left leg back. We're gonna take that foam roller to the front. We're gonna push it way out in front and come right back. So that lead leg is staying quite tall. We don't want to lock that right knee. Okay, right leg in front of left, soft right knee, tip and reach. Come right back. We're starting to load that high hamstring. 2, back. 3, come on back. 4. And 5, and then change sides. Left leg in front of right, float that right heel back. Nice big breath. Tip and reach. Push that foam roller out in front. 1, 2, and we're just starting to get some length through the lat, and that's going to translate into the left high hamstring. Good. 1 more. And good. All right, right back to the middle. 2 times shoulder width on the stance. This time, we're going to go ahead and work through the T-spine, but we're also going to work with that weight shift. So we're weight shifting side to side. 2, 3, push your hips back. 4, and 5, and good. Right into that split stance, right leg in front of left. Nice big reach. 1, we got 5 of these. 2, 3, 4, good. And 5, left leg in front of right, float the back heel, get nice and tall. 1, 2, good. 3, 4, 1 more. And 5. And in foundation training, that looks a lot and feels a lot like a woodpecker. All right, let's take it down on the ground. Working on some floppy hips. Working on happy hips, number 1. So your feet are going to be outside of your hips, okay? With feet outside of the hips, and we're dropping that right knee to the midline of the body. I don't want that knee to be short, so don't let that knee creep across the midline of the body. And the midline is that pubic bone, all right? So drop in, and then drop in. And that back hip can come forward just a little bit, okay? So just here, we got happy hips, number 1. Drop in, 3, 4, and 5. Keep going. We're going to go for 10 of these. 6, drop in. 7, 8, 9, good, and 10. Good. And obviously, these first 10 minutes of the session, these are things that you can do every single day to help yourself move better. Okay, so this is a 90-90 seated position. 90 degrees with the lead leg, 90 degrees with the back leg. We're going to drop the chest on top of the lead leg and then right back up. Drop that chest, 2, back up. Drop that chest, 3, we're just going to go 5, 4, good. You're kind of doing it like a push-up, not really. Most of that can get done through the hip. You don't have to use too much upper body. Okay, 90-90. 90 degrees with the bottom leg, 90 degrees with the top leg at the knee. 2 hands just spread wide around that lead knee. We're gently dropping into that. 1. When we talk about end range, guys, 2, it means we never want to go past the range of motion that's comfortable. Most of you guys are not doing this in a big group, although we are a rather large group. Nobody's judging how far down you can get your chest to your knees. So please don't force anything. Your body will gradually start to open up. Okay. Right leg down on the bottom again, left leg back. This time we're going to add a reach. Go back up just a little bit here. Okay, so the right leg, everybody get with me here, the right leg is on the bottom. We're gonna reach with the left arm. So now we're starting to work hip mobility and thoracic spine mobility. So drop the chest down and then reach with that left arm and then come back up, right? Left arm reach, 2, and come back up. 3, just 5. You don't need a lot of these. 4. I often say that endurance athletes don't need more exercise. If you're active, typically your strength work should be strength work, not more exercise. It doesn't have to be more high intensity training. Some days we can do stuff like that, but this is a climb session, which means we are going to focus on getting stronger and moving better. Okay, left leg is down at the bottom. We're going to reach with the right arm. Drop down. 1, 2. Hip cramp. 3. I try to keep you as real as possible. 4. If I got a cramp, I'm going to tell you. Good. And 5. And good. All right. Let's go into a kneeling founder. So what's great about a kneeling founder is anybody that has an ongoing disc issue or back problem, this is going to be a really, really good way to get core activation for you. Okay, so the first thing is we need to be able to get into a full kneeling position. So if you need an extra pillow, get it for your knees, but your feet need to be outside of your knees. So that puts your hips into internal rotation. If my feet were inside of my hips would be in external rotation. So feet outside puts the hips into internal rotation. From right there, we're keeping your feet outside. We're going to push your hips back a little bit. Keep your spine nice and tall. So keep your chest nice and tall. 3, 4, just working that gentle hip hinge. 5. We're going to go 10 of these. Hip hinge. 6, drop those hips back. 7, 8. Hips behind your knees. When you get here, your hips are behind your knees. 9 and 10. Okay, good. Starting to get warmed up. Take a sweatshirt off. All right. Okay, sweatshirt off. Now, we're going to take the arms in the long wing. So feet outside of knees. From right here, this position, this anatomical position, thumbs to the outside. Push your hips back. Let your arms pull away from your ears. And then scoop from the bottom and add the weight of the arms. And then bring the weight of the arms back and the hips come back to neutral. Okay, it's a kneeling founder. We're just going to go hips to the back, hands in the long wing, scoop the hands to the front. Those of you who are cyclists, notice the elbows are soft and kind of low like they would be on your handlebars. 2, scoop from the bottom. 3, keep your chin back. If anything, you pull that chin like you're trying to make a double chin. 3, drop those hips back and to the front, little counterbalance, glute activation. 4, 5, 6, hips back. Your low back might be letting up a little bit here. That's okay. 7, it's a very safe position. 8, we got to get it stronger. 9, and one more hip hinge. Drop the hips back, hands to the front. Come right back out of that. Let's get into a standing position. We're going to go ahead and grab your foam roller, put it right in front of you. Your feet. I'm about 6 feet tall. So I will, if I'm going wide, I will go outside of a 3-foot foam roller. If we're right now, we're going about just outside of shoulder width with your stance. We're going to put the thumbs to shoulders. We're going to drop down into a squat, come straight back up. Keep the thumbs touching the shoulders. If you can't, for some reason, touch your thumb to your shoulder, your hands can be out a little bit. We're just going body weight squat. 2, 3, 4, parallel squat here. 5, keep those palms facing me. 6, 7, just 10, 8, 9, and 10. Good. Let's go into a wider stance, 2 times shoulder width. We're going to do 5 wide founders. So I'll give you a little bit of a side view. Nice wide stance. Push your hips to the back, hands to the front. 1. We just got 5 of these. Again, go back to the hip hinge. 2. Good. 3. 4. 1 more. Woo. And 5. Good. Keeping it nice and wide. We're going into a founder. We're going to drop it right into a forward fold. Big old hip hinge. So right here, foam roller right in front of you. We're going to use it as a prop. Right here, drop your hips back, hands into long wing. Scoop your hands to the front. Drop all the way forward. High hamstrings. Push your hips back. Work through that foam roller way out in front of you. And see if you can open up the back side of your body. Stay down in that forward fold. Spread your shoulder blades. Round your upper back. And just open up the back side of the body. So really pull your shoulder blades apart. Hands to your knees. Come right back up. We got 1 more of those. Drop your hips about 3 or 4 inches back. Hands in long wing. Scoop to the, so you don't want to be coming over like you're doing a butterfly. You want to come from the bottom. Scoop from the bottom. And all the fingertips touch here. Forward fold, spread that back. Let your shoulder blades go really wide and then toggle through your upper body. Good. Okay, hands to knees, and then come right back up. Feet just outside of shoulder width, thumbs to shoulders from right here. 10 squats, body weight squats. Here we go. Pull your shoulder blades back together now. We just spread them out. Let's pull them back together. Drop down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Keep those hands back. 6, 10 reps. 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, shake that out. This is good. All right, let's get rid of the foam roller, but don't get rid of it completely. Just keep it kind of close. All right, split stance. We're going to go right into a short split stance. So your back heel is going to float. And we're going to go 10 fingertips. So this position right here, we call this the sphere of tension. When we go to the ground, we're going to go half spheres. Okay, so this is a measuring stick that as we get older or as we get tight, think about how you feel when you have to tie your shoe when you're out running. You're like, oh shit, I got to get all the way down here to tie my shoe. It just shows you how tight we can get from running, all right? Float that back heel, nice big chest. We're gonna drop down, half sphere of tension, all the way down. We got 5 on the left and then 5 on the right. Okay, shake that out, here we go. Touch it, 1, touch it, 2, all the way down, 3, 4, and 1 more, and 5. And then switch to the other side. So now left leg is back, all the way to the ground. 1, 2, 3, 4, good, 1 more, and 5. All right. Number 2 dumbbell. Your number 2 dumbbell is the weight that you can put over your head comfortably. Or a little bit uncomfortably. So I've got my 15 today for my number 2 dumbbells. I will range anywhere from a 12.5 to a 20. So I'm actually here at the gym, so I have the option. So I'm going to grab a 15 and a 20. So my first set is going to be with the 15, and the second set is going to be with the 20. This is a 90-90 half kneeling position. So left knee is in front, right knee is back, and we're going to go right arm, single arm, shoulder press. The goal here is to get long through the belly and express good upper body strength with a single arm shoulder press. We're going to do 6 reps. Okay, so not a lot of reps. If that affects your choice of weights, go for it right now. Okay, 6 reps. Right knee down, right arm has the load. Here we go, long through the belly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. We're going to change the arm and we're going to change the leg. So left leg is down and stable. Left arm is doing the work. Here we go. 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And good. Okay, second set, same thing. I would call this a same side load. This is the most stable side, the right side. We got the right arm is going to take the weight. I'm going to go up. You don't have to if you don't want to. You can stay right where you were. Now that you've done 1 set though, you're going to be much better prepared for the second set. 6 is the number. We got 6 single arm shoulder presses. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And good. Same thing other side. Traditionally, my left side is a little bit not as strong as my right. So I may only get 4 or 5 reps on this side. I'll do the best I can. All right. Ready? Left side. Here we go. 6 reps. Ooh, strongy. He's good. All right. So keeping your number 2 dumbbell. I'm going to go ahead and stay with the 20 pounder. We're going to do lateral gliding from a goblet position. Okay, so this is called a high number 2 for me. So this is the top end of my number 2 dumbbells. This position is a goblet position. Right, so the weight stays nice and close to your body. It's on your chest, touching your sternum. Get into that wide stance. We're going to glide to the right, come straight back to the middle, glide to the left, right back to the middle, working that hip hinge. 2, back up. We're going to go 6 each side. 3, 4, 5. Push those hips back. Last one. 6 and 6. Good. Let that come down. Let's grab the foam roller. We're going to keep working to get that glutes working better and better. So we're coming back to another set of that lateral gliding from the goblet position, but right now we're going to work that front side of the hip. We're going to foam roll there. So right there, we're going to foam roll. So you're in front of your hip bone, almost facing down. We're on the left side, and we're only working through the top of the quad. We're not going into the belly of the quad. Anterior hip. You can work that a little bit medial if you want. So towards the hip bone, drop the right hip. You're on the left. We're just working through that. Get a little bit lower, but don't go into the belly of the quad. It's too painful. And we typically, this group, we will use the percussion tool or the massage gun, whatever you want to call it, to get that belly of the quad usually. Okay, other side. Anterior lateral hip joint, working through the top of the quad to get a little more space in the front side of the hip. Go a little bit lower, but don't go into the belly of the water. Okay, good. So the mechanism that affects is really up for debate. But the biggest thing is that brings a little more heat, a little more circulation to the front side of the hip. And the more open this hip is, the more active the glute can be. All right, let's grab the dumbbell again. High 2. Or you can, if you're feeling good, you can take that to your number 3 dumbbell. If you want to, stay down at number 2 low if you want. If you want to just be body. Okay, ready? We're going 6 each side. As you glide to the right, push your hips back, keep that right knee towards the midline. See how tight this left knee is here? 1, 1. Glide. 2. We're really working the inner thigh here. 3. Push those hips back. Get long with the long side of the body, long with the left here. 4. 5. 1 more. 6. And 6. All right, good. We're going right into a woodpecker from foundation training. We're going to do a single arm though. So it's a relatively wide stance. We've got right leg in front of left. So don't be here. I want you to have a nice, wide, stable stance. Nice stance. Everything is tall and on the lead leg. Float the hands to the height of the heart. That's going to put about 60% of your weight on your lead leg. Reach forward with your hands and push your hips back just a little bit. 1. And then come right back to tall. When you go into that forward lean position and your hips go back, pull your hips up and you should find high hamstring and then come back. Okay, we've got 4 more of those. Hands to the front. 1. Try to create as much space between fingertips and the tailbone. 2. 2 more. Long through your lats. 3. And 4. And back. I talked to a gentleman yesterday who has some herniated discs in his lumbar spine. He's just joined ECFIT. This is the kind of movements that hip hinge and reaches that really unload that lumbar spine. So if you know anybody that has low back pain or compromised spine, they should be in the gang. Okay, you see me do this every now and then. These are measuring sticks. We'll talk about that a little bit more in depth later. Push your hips back, hands to the front. 1, hips back. 2, high hamstring, lighten it up, activate it. 3, 4, 5, keep the hands high and back. 1 more. And 6. All right. Good. We're going to use the goblet position again. We're going to start from the 90-90 half kneeling position. So this is going to be a dead start. We're not going to start top down, which will give us a little stretch reflex. We're just going to go up, come back down, knee to the ground. All right. So it looks like this. Hands on hips. Let's just do 5 of these. Body weight only to get the vibe, okay? So right here, great posture, hands on hips. Stand up. Right back down, that's 1 rep. Push up with your left leg. 2. Back down. 3. Good. 4. 5. 1 more. 6. And back down. Now, some of you might say like that's a lunge, but in our world, a lunge is a step and return. This is a squat. It's a split squat. All right, right leg in front of left, hands on hips. 1. And then you finish all the way down. 2. All the way down. 3. 4. 5. And 6. All the way down. Good. All right, shake your legs out. We've got the glutes working better because we took a little time to foam roll. We're going goblet position. I'm looking at high 2 or 2. I'm gonna go back to the 15. My legs are still really feeling that run. I had a couple of interesting things happen during the run in Monterey. So again, those of you who are new, broken ankle in July. So I'm only 16 weeks, which sounds short and long all at the same time, but considering that for 8 weeks, I really couldn't do any running or walking for that matter. I feel pretty good about how I did. All right, we're in goblet position. Everything is stacked. 6 reps. 1, 2. So most of the responsibility here is on the left leg. 3, because it's out front. 4, 5, push, and 6. So what I found in the race was, it was my left ankle, we're going to go the other side, was that at about mile 9, my right leg started really showing signs of discomfort. 4, and so it told me 5, 1 more, and 6, and back down. Good. Just take a breather. What it told me, so I'm broken on one side, on the left side. The right side has been doing most of the work for the training period. And so the left side, in response to the trauma of the break, had really shut down. The brain had shut down the left hip, the left quad, the left hammy, the left lower leg, in response to the break down at the ankle. And I could probably make an argument that the shoulders shut down a little bit too, in response to the trauma down there. So need to do more split squats, single leg work to get the left side to catch up to the right. And inevitably, most of this audience doing this class today has a right or left side that's probably dominant. So we're going to try and get you more balanced through the next few weeks. Okay, left leg in front. 1, 6 reps. 2, all the way to the ground. 3, 4, 5, and 6. Good. Posture is really strong. Keeping that chest up tall. Tuck that toe under the back. Ready? 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and good. All right. We're going to grab the number 3 dumbbell. We're staying with the goblet position. So those of you familiar with strength training, you're going to be very familiar probably with back squatting. I don't back squat my athletes. I'm very risk averse as a strength coach, and I find that it is a risky move. So the front squat, whether it's a bar or a dumbbell or a kettlebell, we're going to front squat. The bottom line is you get more core activation, you get more glute activation, and you decrease your risk. So you might not be able to put as much weight on your front as you can with your back, but it's actually strength that you're going to be able to use over time. All right, so we've got 2 sets of split squats each side. Now we're going to go into a nice full body shoulder width stance. Get your number 3 dumbbell. If you prefer to start with your number 2, go for it. And here we go. We're going to pull that up into a goblet position. Hips are going to go to the back. We're going 6 squats, only 6. Try and get your elbows to your knees if you can. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Good. That seemed easy for me. I'm at the gym. I'm going to go up. Another making the case to maybe either up your home gym game to include Another layer. Now that you're squatting healthy, you want load. So if your heaviest thing you have in your home gym is now you're able to get 6 squats with perfect form, it's time to go get more. And they exist. So we're going to go again shortly. We're just going to give ourselves that little bit of time. This is the difference between a strength session and a fitness session. You need a little bit more time between sets. We'll give you another about 15 seconds. And if you're ready to go and you're frustrated because I'm just talking, you need more weight. So shake the legs out. All right, let's get into goblet. Okay, it's touching your chest. 6 reps. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Last one. And 6. And rest. I'll give you your rest periods. This time, we're going to use the rest period and work a little bit of single leg stance and reaches. So I find with endurance athletes, I want to get the time between sets, between strength sets, but there's things we can do to make ourselves better in that time. So I want everybody hands on hips, right leg behind the left, stand on one foot, work your balance. I want this right leg behind. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Change sides. Right leg on the ground, left leg behind. Stay tall. Really feel the ground with your right foot. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, last set of squats. Make it the best set. Ready? Here we go. Into goblet. Feet about shoulder width. Feet are also nice and straight. This is also something a very traditional strength coach would let you have your toes out. I don't want that. Let's get toes in. Here we go. 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 6. All right, dumbbell goes to the side. And good. Single leg stance. Let's go left leg first. Stand on one foot. Right leg to the back. When the right leg's to the back, we call that extension. From right here, 2 hands, we're going to scoop from the bottom to the front. 1, and come right back, put the foot down. We've got 5 of these. Single leg Superman. Here we go. 2, 3, push that leg to the back. 4, good. 1 more. And 5, and good. Same thing other side, right leg, single leg Superman. First move, feel strong on one foot. This foot is back, tip and reach. 1. You want tension in your back leg. 2, 3, good. 4, good. And 5. So that hip extension, that hip behind, is going to give you more glute activation. The more glute activation that you have, the more your internal rotators and your adductors are going to be able to feel safe and be long. That's a huge, it's a huge concept. All right, so just kind of work with me on that and just know when I ask you to push your foot to the back, go with it, it has meaning. All right, sitting in the sitting position here. I want you to just put your knees together and we're just gonna pump through the toes. So right here, you're extending your toes, flattening your toes, pointing your toes, and then you're gonna pull them back to your shins. 2, we got 10 of those. 3, 4, 5. Keep those big toes touching if you can. 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, working a little bit of decompression breathing, and then we're going to work a little bit of eccentric loading, which if you're climbing mountains, that's going to help you get down the mountain. All right, so we're going to finish up the session today, not on the floor, but up, working some deceleration. You're a little bit fatigued from the squats, and then we're going to ask for that length to show up. All right, right there, we got toes together. Toes are pulling back towards the shins. Knees together, hips are in the internal rotation. Float your hands to the height of your heart. And we're just reaching as far over the head as possible. And keep your hands at the height of your forehead, so they don't fall all the way to the ground. From right there, let's see if you can walk your shoulders away, and you're creating as much space between your ribs and your hips as you can. Keep your knees nice and tight. Keep your toes pulled strong towards your shins. Big inhale. And exhale. Try and keep your belly button tight to your spine the whole time. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Inhale, 2 more. And 1 more. Float the hands back to the height of the heart. Take the hands all the way next to the hips. Squeeze the knees, pull the toes towards the shins. From right here, we're going to push the heels into the ground. Lift the hips off the ground. Knees tight. 2 big breaths. And let your hips go back to the floor. Little bit of an anchored bridge. So when the knees are together, the toes are together, and the heels are apart, call that anchoring. All right? Knees together, toes together, heels apart. Ready? Strong fingertips, strong halves for your attention. Lift the hips, 2 big breaths. And relax. All right, we got one more thing to do while we're from a standing position. So gently get yourself up, don't get a head rush. A little bit of a head rush. Okay, back to standing. We're going to work that single leg stance with a lateral reach. So right here, you're going to tap and then come right back. So we've got a quarter squat happening on the left leg. The right leg gently taps to the side. This leg stays strong underneath of you, and you pull right back to a standing position. All right, let's do right leg to the side. Because we want to use the hip hinge that we've been working with the whole day, we want to let the hands come in the front as a counterbalance. So as we do the reach, that hip is going way to the back like an ice skater. Okay, 6 reps, leg to the side. 1. Everything stays loaded on the left leg. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1 more. Get right on that left side. Tap very lightly to the outside. Okay, other side. Nice big breath, create space between the ribs and the hips. 1, 2, 3, 4, drop down, push into the ground. 1 more. And 6. Nice. Shake that out. Whew. Deceleration, single leg stance, lower body strength, a really healthy hip hinge with great posture. That's what we worked on today. That was a great session. We are aiming for an accessible program, one that you can do week after week, day after day. Tomorrow is a day off from strength. Always feel welcome to pick any session on the on-demand from the lounge category. So we've got some foundation recovery in there. We've got some Viper recovery, there's some yoga. So if you want to do something, go for it, but more than anything, have a great weekend. Thank you very much for coming and showing up for a good strength session. I will see you next week. Happy Thanksgiving. Even if you're not in the US, happy Thanksgiving, everybody. See you soon.